Love it. The smell of a good candle. Who does not love the smell of a good candle? I like the smell of a good candle. Do you? Oh, that's right. I got some fun stuff to share. To share, not to Sunny, but to share. Good evening, friends, Romans, countrymen, folks. Carla Jane, there you are, my dear. There you are. Good to see you. And Becky Ridgway and Christine is showing up. Yay! Look at all our folks. There we go. Heather MC's letting me know that you can see and hear me. Yay. And goof evening to you, Cheryl, as well. I actually like that better than good evening. That puts a smile on my face. And Sue and Stacy, all the kids. Kim, it's a double whammy. I love it. Very cool. Very cool, you guys. Much like this morning, I think it was this morning anyway, we were doing the decluttering, what is it, TikTok? And we were talking about good smells. And I have this candle. I got it on vacation. This is not an infomercial. And no lie, I don't know if you can see this. The scent is Hotel Lobby. And it reminds me of this really cool hotel we stayed at in Indianapolis, Indiana. And so you never know what smell is going to evoke, you know? Funny thing was, I will share with you that the hotel itself sold candles that was supposed to be like the smell of their, signature lobby scent. It didn't smell as good. And then I went down the street to this candle shop, and I was like, "Do you have anything that smells like the place down there?" And literally, they're like, "Well, we do have one called Hotel Lobby." Ah, love it. So hello, Debbie and Christine and Cheryl with a C and Cheryl with an S. Very cool, guys. So, hey, real quick, and Gina, I know we may have more people joining us, but since you all are the people who show up, because much like the universe, I like to reward the people who show up. I like to reward the people who participate. Now, I'm a lurker myself by nature. I'm an observer and an occasional participant, and yet still, I will show up even though I may not chime in. What I want to offer to you is a bunch of you on the last YouTube Live sent me your mailing address so I could send you a sticker, one of these every little bit helps stickers that I found while I was decluttering. I'm just saying this now to the people who are live here on Wednesday night, June 25th. It's been that way all day. 2025, that if you're interested, I'm going to mail out some of these. Now I have a limited amount, and I have already put aside the ones for the people who gave me your mailing address. But if you want one of these, I won't be making them again. I'm not going to really be doing any Destination Decluttered merch. This was just a little experiment type thing. If you want one of these, just email me your mailing address, Beth@destinationdecluttered.com. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you guys had first dibs, and, being a finite number, they will run out. So the sooner you email me, I actually go in order of who did them, who emailed me first. All right. And Carla Jane, I love this. You just picked up on something that didn't even occur to me until just now when you said it. She says, yes, we are halfway to Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, we are halfway away from December 25th here on June 25th. Now, it does not feel like a winter wonderland out there today. If anything, it is sweltering hot. It's like, what is that song? Christmas, not Christmas at the Airport. That's Nick Lowe. I'm thinking of Mecca Kaliki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. It's totally more like a bright Hawaiian Christmas day right here, even in Pennsylvania. Now, as we speak, a storm is supposed to be coming in, so much so that I actually gathered up the cushions from our patio set, which I'm loving living in. I could live the patio lifestyle all the time. Some of my favorite times are just hanging out on the patio. I gathered those up. I put them aside. So if I want to not have them rained on. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. Had a fun day, had some coaching. Love it. Did a TikTok live. Love it. Did some walking when it was cool out. Went shopping for a few specific things and was totally okay with not coming home with something because I didn't find what I wanted. I found some things that were kind of close, but not enough that made me actually take out my money. But the shopping, I will share with you. I went to like a kind of a sad mall, like a mall that is kind of a shell of its former self, but it was air conditioned and I got some steps in. And if anybody ever wants to get your steps in, my goodness, if you live near an IKEA, you will walk miles and you won't even realize it until you're out in the parking lot. Okay. So that's been my day today. I did some catching up on looking at what I did in my good book today as I was sitting out on the patio. I am giving myself a black eye here. I am almost done with the my habit tracker. And here's something I know you guys are going to help me with. Okay, is I have water in this, and I want to be mostly done with it before 9 o'clock. Okay. Mm. Um. Oh man. Now this is funny. Um. Yeah. Carla Jane is saying, yes, I can't stand it. We coached this morning. Yes. Didn't get my office moved. That's okay, but gathered several bags of clothes for families lost due to a fire. Right. This is the fun thing about decluttering. This is the fun thing about basically working for yourself, because that's what decluttering is. If you think about it, you're your own boss. So you are both the boss and the employee. I know that feeling because I am a solopreneur, as they say. And this gives you the power to make your schedule in the same token that it gives you the power to change it. Okay. So notice Carla said she thought she was going to get her office moved. She decided to do something else. Now, as somebody's coach and as a person myself, I'll be honest with you. I like seeing what you do when you're kind of left to your own devices. Left to my own devices, I probably would. Pet Shop Boys. And I ask you, the only thing I ask is that you feel good about the decisions you make. You take a moment, you stop, hammer time. You say, wait a minute. I said I was going to do this, but part of me is saying, do this. Do I feel good about pivoting? Does it feel good to me? Later tonight, after I do this in bed, am I going to beat myself up for not doing what I said I was going to do? Or will I feel good that I have power over my time? I have control over my time and I get to decide what I do, even if that means altering, diverting from the map that I had laid out, you know? Um, and yeah, here's a funny thing. Carly Jane is saying they have asked for towels also. So think about this. Think about how your clutter, the stuff in your home, could really help somebody who has lost everything in the fire. Notice how your stuff can be ready for something. Can you imagine how much more, I don't want to say aggressive, how much more serious you would be, or I don't even know what the word is. I guess I would say aggressive, but more something you would be if you knew specifically some people needed some of the stuff that you have. You would probably look at it, maybe I'm thinking like more of with a judicious eye. Do I really need these bougie cannon towels? No. These people don't have any towels at all. They get bougie or not. Maybe they're brand new, you know? Um, yeah. Yes. And Carla is saying, and I love this true. I hate to give something that would get in their way, if that makes sense. And it completely does make sense. You don't want them to be the dumping ground for the stuff you don't want. Getting more specific, finding out what they do want and need, listening to the people in need. And instead of giving, it's almost like giving a wedding gift. How many people have, like, you have a wedding registry that says, here are the things we would love to receive. And some people are like, I don't like that. I'm going to give them something else. Listen to them and give them what they want. And then you'll feel good knowing it wasn't stuff that was in the way. Yeah. Now I'm doing the same thing on a related note because I have a thank you gift I want to buy for a friend. Now, this friend is so generous with his talents and time. He does not like to be the center of attention, but he really helped us out. He made two tables for our patio, custom sized, that fit perfectly against the wall and our new couch. And he did this literally, you guys, within a week of him retiring from a job he's been at for 40 years. And that's where he makes these things. So he's like, "Oh, you don't have to. No, don't pay me. No, no, no." You know those people. And I don't want to give him something um, that he wouldn't enjoy, but I do want to show my appreciation. So what I did was I reached out to his wife and I said, "Hey, Elle, I know T never likes recognition, and I don't want to give you anything you don't use, but you guys are awfully generous when we go over to your house and make, he likes to make a lovely cocktail." So I said, "Could you do me a favor? Could you look at your bar and look at your alcohol, what you like to drink and what's running a little bit low in the stuff that you like? Send me a list and I can buy you something that I know you're going to use because you've told me it's running low and you like it." And she did. She sent me a list and she said, "Well, here's some stuff you can get in Pennsylvania. And there's this one, you can't get it in PA, but if Cliff is going down to Delaware, that might be a fun surprise." Well, you know who's heading to Delaware tomorrow anyway? Because I was doing some errands? Me. So I share this story with you because I'm listening to what they want. I'm paying attention to something I truly believe will be useful and useful. It will be full of use. So I say this to you, listen to yourself about what you want if somebody was donating something to you and what you don't want. I know some people get into a situation where they've kind of become the family thrift store, for lack of a better thing, because they don't speak up for themselves and say, "Thank you for thinking of me, but no, I do not need fill in the blank of whatever the person's trying to give them." They are afraid that somebody's going to get mad at them. And then their houses end up looking like everybody, less of what they want and more of what they just kind of inherited. And they also oftentimes inherit some resentment because somebody's always saying, "Oh, well, she never says no, so I'm just going to keep on sending her stuff." Now, I occasionally will send some stuff up to my sister, but I say this with very clear intentions. I think this is good stuff. It's not just crap. I think you would like this. If you would like it, please keep it. If you don't want it, please sell it in your shop. If you don't want to sell it in your shop, feel free to just give it away. But I wanted to give you, as we would say when we were little kids, first dibs. So, quality, quality, and not just, thread count, but how does that stuff make you feel? A bougie towel that's like not your jam, it doesn't matter how much it costs. If it's not your thing, the quality almost doesn't matter because the quality of it is not connecting with what's important to you. I would much rather have a slightly scratchy, um, big, plain white towel than something that's embroidered with gold and it's got a velour on one side and all that kind of fancy dancy stuff. So think of quality. What's the quality of stuff that you have in your home? And by quality, what I also like to say is that it's who is that? I want to say it's something Philip Morris, not call for Philip Morris or whatever, but it's like don't have anything in your home that you don't believe to be. I have personally switched it up because believe to be beautiful or know to be useful or believe to be beautiful because you can know something's useful, you can believe, but I say to you, you know, um, go around and say, does the stuff that I have, especially the things that need to perform a function, do my pens write well? Is it easy for me to write? Or do I feel like I'm pushing those pens and they're skipping with the ink and I, stole it. I got it from the bank and it's a really crappy pen. Or does the ink flow like a mountain stream? Let your love flow. The Bellamy brothers, was that last night we were talking about that, huh? How do the knives work in your house? Are they sharp? Scissors. Do they sizz well? How about clothing? Is some of you, I went clothing shopping today. I swear I looked at a dress and I was like, that's kind of see-through. I don't think they mean it, but it's poor quality. I want when for clothing for me, I do not want people to see my nips, okay? So I look for clothing that covers my nips. So think of the quality of the items you have. Stacy, I love this. Yep, I just tossed about 6 pens I didn't love, so I tossed. Hey, that's a game you can play at home. Every single person today, right now, you could sit at wherever you are. You could walk around your house, gather up all of the pens that you can find, and sit there with your notebook and just, practice your, you know, what was it? Joni Loves Chachi or Mrs. Paul McCartney or All My Love, Lawrence Welk. You could practice your autograph, right? So, and you could see which pens you have. I will share with you. I've gotten so specific about this. There's nothing wrong with being specific. These are the pens I love. Again, this is not an infomercial, but I discovered that, and I can't even read it now with this. It's called a Jetstream. Oh, there it is on the side. It's a Jetstream pen. Oh, you know what? I have the box of them right here because I literally buy them by the box now. Uh, Not that it matters, but yeah, Uniball. And here's how particular I am. I want black ink. I want the nib size or whatever you think. It says 1.0. It's a medium sized tip. I don't like things when they are too scratchy, almost like a very hard pencil. Remember, like was it number 3 pencils? Number 2 was always the good one. I can't remember which were the extra sharp, hard ones, if it was a 1 or a 3. Okay. I love it. Therapy Gal Sue says she's going through clothes right now. This group is psychic. Yeah. And Lady Bandit says, I hate clothing shopping. The quality is terrible. I would agree with you. But what I will offer is this: there is quality out there, but you have to look for it. You will rarely find quality clothing in the fast fashion types of places. So you will be disappointed if you're looking for quality at like Kohl's or Primark if you have one near you, or H&M. That is fast fashion. That's pretty much disposable clothing. There is quality out there, but you may have to pay for it. That's why I highly recommend when you going thrifting, and you never know, something that didn't, that was a high quality item that was expensive to somebody, but it didn't fit them, they may donate it. Or just, seriously, I would rather have fewer good dresses than a whole bunch of crappy ones. But yes, it can take the fun out of shopping, even if shopping isn't meant to be fun when you can't find it, So I agree with you. I agree with you. And we could probably write a whole research paper about fast fashion and the profitability and mass marketing and all sorts of things. But enjoy the clothing you do have. Notice the specifics about it. Again, I was thinking about it today when I was shopping because I think I've always been this way. I think of back to my childhood and I remember my mother buying me clothes and I'm like, I can't wear that because the texture it's itchy, it's scratchy. It was like, that scratchy polyester. I also don't like overly silky polyester. I don't like a lot of polyesters. More than I do wear some of it more than I used to. Um, but knowing what you want and being okay with nothing rather than getting something you're just kind of, half-assing it. So Therapy Gal Sue, I offer that to you. What's the quality of fabrics? Are there fabrics you like more than others? Is there a cut of clothing that just by the nature of it on your body, you tend to gravitate towards? Okay. I love it. Stacy is saying, yep, I was on vacation and had a high quality top from Talbot's and felt like $1,000,000. Classy quality top. Ordered from Amazon and so cheap a quality, I'm not going to buy it anymore. Yeah. That is the difference between when you shop online. Everything looks good online. Everything looks good. And they put, they mean it that way because they just want your money. But when you go into an old bricks and mortar store, and man, did I go into one today that was like stepping back in time. You can look at something from across, but as soon as you put your hand on it, you're engaging one of your senses besides your eyes. You are engaging your sense of touch, and immediately you can feel whether you even want to wear it or not. So know the feeling of quality. What does I would say cashmere feel like? Yeah. Lady Bandit says, Stacy, I bought a sweater from Amazon and it literally fell apart while I was wearing it. Yeah. Now, this is interesting. Sue is noticing. So, right, I'm noticing now I'm keeping outfits from Chico's. So maybe Chico's is a good quality and style you like. What I say is, again, if you want to have some of that stuff, if you're in a thrift shop, now you know to look for the category. You look for the Chico's labels. Look for the union label. Look for the label of the quality brands, not just the fast fashion ones. That honestly is what took a lot of the fun out of thrifting for me, frankly. I've been thrifting since my mother would take me thrifting. And back in the day, they made fewer clothes, but they were of better quality. And they probably cost more too. So you had fewer pieces of clothing, but they lasted longer and you wore them more often. It wasn't kind of like this, you know, paper towels that you're wearing now. As I have thrifted throughout the years, there's been fewer kind of vintagey quality clothing that have been in the thrifts and more of this stuff that looks crappy, I swear, sometimes before you even wash it the first time. So look for the again, I always want to say look for the union label. Look for the brands that in your own closet that are of quality. Learn from your experiences when you are shopping. What t-shirts look good? I mean, I'm a black t-shirt gal, but man, did I really take a judicious look at the t-shirts that I have and the way they were cut and what they were made of. And I mean, I just said Primark is fast fashion, but I have Primark t-shirts that I have kept for years. And I will continue to do that. I take good care of them. So even though they were fast fashion, they're not disposable to me. I wear them year after year. Uh, so learn from what you've done in the past to inform what you're doing in the present so that in the future you can kind of build a wardrobe of stuff that coordinates with what you have, and that you enjoy wearing it. I'm making good progress on my water. Is everybody here hydrating? Yes, you may need to pee at around 9 o'clock, but that's fine. Flushing the toxins out, right? Um, Ooh, I love this. Kimberly. Kim is going to Switzerland with nothing but a backpack. She says, I did a practice run. I love this with my F55L Osprey travel backpack and the clothes in packing cubes. I'm such a packing cube fan that I'm taking to Switzerland. After that trial run, she weeded out a few things. Less is more. Here's a wonderful thing I want everybody to think of is with travel, and I have it written down somewhere on one of my lists. I travel to see the world. I've said it enough so I can repeat it without. I travel to see the world, not for the world to see me. I am the only one who knows when I'm walking around, Pisa, that's a dress that I wore out on the Amalfi Coast a couple of days ago. Nobody gives a shit except maybe you and maybe the fact that, like, God forbid, in your travel photos, you are seen wearing the same thing twice, right? But how much easier is it to travel light, to wear what you have and put it into circulation? Play this game this summer, okay? Because I'm challenging my husband to do this, and I'm going to challenge myself to do it as well. My husband just bought a shirt, and I will be honest with you, I do not find it attractive. I could go on about how I don't like it, but he likes it for some reason. And so what we've agreed on is that if he buys a new shirt, another one or two go out. And he made that transition. So we've started a new donation bag. I put on a t-shirt today myself that used to be fitting, but I've lost a few pounds and I'm psyched about it. So this makes me, it looked too big. So I folded it up because it was still clean and I put it in the bag. Now, the reason I bring this up is that as my husband was putting this new shirt, or when he was actually, he wasn't putting it in there, but he was taking out the ones that he was going to donate. He has an entire section of his closet that has these short sleeve button down shirts. I'm sure we all have a category of things we wear that you have a quantity of. I counted them. I didn't even count the little section of what I call tiki shirts, the really bright 70s colored shirts that I buy for him because I freaking love them. I didn't even include that in the count. I only counted the ones that he himself has purchased and worn. And I counted 41 of them. And I said to him, "Okay, this is kind of ridiculous." Now that's a judgy word, I admit. I what can I say? I'm human and I'm like, this is crazy because he tends to wear the same things over and over again, and yet he's still buying new shirts as if he has none. But I said, "Do you realize you could wear one of these shirts every day and not repeat until almost the beginning of August?" So I said, "I challenge you." I said, "This summer, let's play a game because you're saving these shirts thinking you're going to wear them. It is the season to wear them. So practice what you preach and wear them. Try not to have the repeats." I did this last summer. Some of you may remember, heck, there's probably a video on, I'm pointing over here as if YouTube is over here, but technically I'm talking to YouTube right now. Um, there's probably a video from last summer how I said I played this game with myself, that I was going to wear every single t-shirt in my collection. And if I wasn't wearing it, I would figure out why and I would make a plan. Now, some t-shirts last summer I did give away because they didn't fit because they were too small. Here's the funny thing. I have lost weight now, and so they might have fit me this summer, but I never expected to lose weight. But I did. I'm wicked psyched about it, but it's okay because I don't even remember the t-shirts that I let go of. So I offer to you, what is there a category of your clothes that you could play this game of not repeating and just wearing each sundress, making it be sundress summer? My husband and I both, because he's also lost a couple of pounds, we decided. I said, I don't know what next summer is going to be looking like, but this is going to be my quote skinny summer because I finally lost a few pounds with the help of a GLP-1. I'm not going to, gatekeep. Um, I don't know what next summer brings, but why I want to feel good, and I want to feel good when I look in the mirror because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to lose a couple of pounds, because I wasn't feeling good when I looked at myself in the mirror. So I am going to wear clothing this summer that makes me feel good, that makes me proud of the fact that I've lost some pounds. So anything that I try on that makes me feel dumpy, I may have dumpy summer next year. It may all go undone. But for this summer, I'm not going to wear dumpy clothes, and I'm going to fold up the stuff that I don't want, and I'm going to donate it. Play along at home. Play along at home. It will be interesting to see which shirts my husband will automatically gravitate towards, and I'll be like, "Hey, wait, we saw that one." Maybe I'll do like a thing where every day he puts on one on and I'll take a picture. I don't know. Could be fun. Could be fun. So here's something I want to mention too, because it's about 8:30. And as a reminder, if anybody wants a sticker, um, email me, beth@destinationdecluttered.com. But tomorrow is Thursday. Now, I have learned through this month that Thursdays are not a great day to do the decluttering parties. Not a lot of people have shown up. And in fact, Carla, my dear, is the only one going to the declutter party tomorrow. This is not to guilt you into it and say, please show up for the declutter party, because it will be, I mean, it can be a party with just two people. Am I right? Carla and I can totally get good stuff done. I know. Isn't that crazy, Carla Jane? But what I want to say is, if you guys have ever wanted to hang out with Carla Jane, oh my God, what was that phrase you used today about the fruit bowl? So if you want to hang out, I mean, at a, kind of almost like it's almost like a very small group coaching. Yeah. Um, the decluttering party tomorrow starts at 9 a.m. and goes to 10:30 Eastern, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, 9 to 10:30 Eastern. There's a TikTok beforehand and there's a YouTube live afterhand. Fruit basket turnover. Has anybody ever heard that phrase? I am smitten with it. I wrote it down then, but I wrote it in my coaching notes. I'm going to write it down again. Fruit basket turnover. Actually, you know what's funny? When I say turnover, I almost think like a baked good with fruit with a variety of fruits in it. Sounds delicious. But yeah, Carla and I are going to get some good stuff done. Yeah, I love it. The things that come out of my mouth, and even this. Look at as she says it. Good gravy, Pete. I mean, why talk boring when you can talk fun? Why speak boringly when you can use a word that's more colorful? I was thinking about that today when I was on my one of my walks, how they think of colorful language is usually when somebody's maybe dropping F-bombs and stuff. But why not zhuzh up your language? Use fancy words, use silly words, you know? Now I've got Armor Hot Dogs theme song going through my head. But I love regionalisms. I love the fact that Carla has her Alabamian things, and I've got my Bostonian things, and my Delawarean things, and my Pennsylvania things. It's something I've collected, and I use those words. I don't just keep them, you know, uh, tucked away for special occasions. So if you're interested, we've got a decluttering party. Carla and I do, if you want to join in. If not, we have the remaining two for uh, June on Saturday at 8 a.m. I know it's early for some people. I do know it's early. However, it's going to get you done with your clutter and out playing. And by hopefully for us East Coasters, the heat wave is supposed to break by Saturday. Actually, frankly, it could be raining on Saturday. So maybe you decide to camp out inside and get some stuff done so that you're prepped for 4th of July weekend is like a week, is the week away. Okay. So think about what you can do now. Investing your time now in decluttering means that you're going to have less decluttering to do in July and August. It's kind of fun that way. It's kind of fun. Yeah. No, that's very nice. Yeah. Oh, Carla, I bet you could write a book. I love it. I love it. They don't know whether to wind their behind or scratch their watch. I love it. I love it, Sue, that we will see you at the party on Saturday. That's great. Um, so, what do you guys want to talk about today? I feel like I've been talking for a while. I don't like to monopolize a conversation. But what's going to help you feel good, feel better before you maybe head off to bed after this YouTube Live? Now, according to my watch, it's about 8:33, so we've got about 27 minutes left. I have a list of things. It's a small list that I made after I coached today that I wanted to get done before I went to bed. I am happy to report there's lines through many of them. The things that don't have lines through them that I don't get, I have put onto the list for tomorrow. Okay? And I've just got a few little dribs and drabs that I want to do this evening, and I'm going to feel good about going to bed. Stacy says 8 a.m. is 7 a.m. for me. Yeah, but almost finished my clothing room at the declutter party last weekend. It gave me a great start, and I've been excited to go up there versus dreading. Yeah, yeah. Let's turn that dread into excitement. Where's a place that you dread going in your home right now because of the clutter? You can write it down you can think about it. You can write it down for yourself. You can think about it, write it down for yourself, and you can put it in the comments. Now, I have been dreading going into the living room, but as of yesterday, we started things down the basement. And tonight, pardon me, my nose is itchy. Tonight, uh, there's guys in the other room, musicians, and before they leave, they're helping my husband move the exercise bike downstairs because they forgot to do it last night. It's okay. There were words. It's fine now. Judy Dukes is feeling good. Yay, she's feeling better after tripping out of the tub. Feeling good to be able to work in my flower garden this evening. Oh, therapeutic just to be out, even if the weather is humid. Getting your hands in the garden, taking out the weeds, planting something you want to grow, tending to it. What a good feeling. What a good feeling. Notice you're able to do things. You're healing from what hurt you, and now you're able to do more. If you keep on doing things and hurting yourself, you're never going to be able to do things, but give yourself time to heal. So, yay, you. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. I'm going to drink some more water. I'm doing pretty good. Anybody else want to do a shot? And sometimes we can take a few sips. We can take a few steps in a row. One sip and then putting down, one sip and putting down. That gets you there. But taking a few sips gets you a few steps longer. I love it. Wills Dean just took a shot of decaf. There you go. Yeah. So this is the time of night where I'm trying to get the caffeine out of my system. Um, and I bet I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and probably have to pee. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay. It's what my body wants to do. It will feel more comfortable. What can you do tonight to feel more comfortable before you go to bed? I have already put on my pajama pants and taken off my bra. Okay. Isn't that a lovely feeling? Not being so restricted in your clothes gives your body a chance to say, ah, or as who was that? Let it all hang out. I want to say it was the band The Nails. I mean, there's a different one. The Nails. I got to write that. I'm going to look that up. I think they were the ones who had 88 lines about 44 women. Um, but I digress. This is just what goes on in my head. What can you do to feel better before you go to bed? What good things can you tell yourself about what happened today? What are the movies you're going to replay in your head tonight as you drift off to sleep? If they are horror movies or sad movies or ones that make you feel bad, stop that movie camera right away and walk into another theater. The Hombres. Oh, okay. I love it. I'm going to write that one down. Love it. Ooh, I love it. Yay. Carla Jane just changed an air conditioning vent so I can put the gross filter in the garbage before it gets dark. Yeah. If it's still light out, what do you need to do before it gets dark today? Okay. Yeah, Stacy, I am so into being in my pajamas. Yeah, I am so into that. You will find me hanging out in my comfy pajamas on the patio. Even last night I was out there and it was literally 98 degrees, but it felt cooler out because it was dark. So, hello, Cynthia Sweet Rain. Um, think of this. You can do things to make yourself feel better. You can also do things that'll make you feel worse. Become aware of that and stop traffic cop hand the stuff that's not going to make you feel good. Practice saying no thank you to the things that are going to make you feel good, bad. And that can just be thoughts in your head, beating yourself up about what you didn't get done. My goodness. I guess I've been talking a lot today because my nose is all, I've got a loose gazunt, as my father-in-law used to say. You know? Oh, hey, that's cool. Dawn says, I painted the stairway leading to my basement today. Your new basement talk inspired me. I love that. I love that. Very cool. Now we have to do something about the stairs down to our basement too, but I will share with you. The floor looks so good. It is so exciting to see stuff going downstairs. Um, so yay for inspiration. Where is there a place that could use a little zhuzhing up in your house? Sue says is now moved to assembling a desk and chair for her granddaughter, decluttering her little table and chairs for a pink big girl desk. I love it. So notice how we can literally outgrow stuff that we are physically too big for. Can you imagine you're sitting down there having a little tea set, at the little tiny chair set? We can outgrow things physically, we can outgrow things emotionally. Um, Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to evolve out of the person you were and into the person you want to be. Would you ever say to a little kid, no, you must continue to wear the clothes that you were wearing when you were 3, even if they're growing out of them? You must still continue to use that desk, even though your um, your knees are banging up against it and you can't even reach over to, you're hunched over to it because it's so small. Find the things that are appropriate for the size and life era you're in. It was the nails. Okay, thank you, Gina. I love it. I will joke. So my family. This is my joke about that. I am not what's the word I want to use? Sporty in the least. I am not sporty spice at all. Neither is really anybody in my immediate family. However, I joke that Name That Tune is our family's favorite sport. So that's how my brain goes. Like I used to listen to a lot of 68 RKO Boston. And I have an ear for music and it's fun for me to remember that stuff. Yay. All righty. Stacy says at the decluttering party last Saturday, I opted to make my husband put together IKEA boxes. A wonderful use of a husband, by the way. I just made piles. It was so worth it to delegate something that took my valuable time. And the hubby was happy to assemble. Yes, delegation, delegating these things. You do not need to do all of it by yourself. You are going to get to your destination decluttered so much quicker if there are other people participating in the decluttering, especially when, but it doesn't have to be restricted to, it's something that they may enjoy doing. They are happy to participate in. Maybe they're better at it than you do. They have more interest in it, or maybe it's their stuff as well. So think about put on your lens, like your decluttering, x-ray specs. And is there anything clutter-wise in your home that you could inquire, converse with the additional people in your home about their involvement in the decluttering of it? Now, notice how I'm really trying hard not to say help you or make them. I'm trying to be very mindful of my words because we want to dismantle the patriarchal notion that the house is only the women's job and it's her job to like clean up after everybody. Not on my watch. Okay? Not on my watch. And oh my goodness, I saw this thing about the princess uh on TikTok. I won't even talk about it, okay? But I say to you in a really good way, there can be helpers out there who would like to help you but they don't know how. Tell people how they can help you. They can maybe help you by not bringing stuff into the house, by helping assemble something. Or not, now notice I'm saying helping, so I gotta stop that. They can participate in the decluttering and maintaining of the mutual home in a variety of ways. Delegate some of the things that you've maybe put on your shoulders, and then it lightens your load, and it also gives them a sense of purpose and belonging. I offer that to you as an idea. Now, having been an older sister and been parentified at an early age, and then pretty much has always been put in a certain level of responsibility at any job, whether I wanted to or not. And then I learned to say thank you, but no. Truth. I am really good at telling people what to do. As my sisters and my husband would probably be like, "Yep, bossy older sister." However, why should I be the one doing everything? Now, sometimes I will admit my husband is so nice and easygoing that he does probably more than I say, "Could you do this?" And he will pretty much do it. Um, I'm lucky that way. But I also do a lot of stuff too. So think about the people in your life that benefit from living where you live. Do not be afraid of saying, "Hey, I know it has been historical that I've done all this, but as I almost what was his real name? I can't remember it. Somebody is going to put it in the comments. I know it. Bob Dylan. It was a Jewish name, right? Regardless, um, the times they are changing. Or maybe that was Pete Seeger. Answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. Can you tell I'm not a folkie, right? Nor do I play one on TV. If you don't like the dynamic in your home, what can you do to change it? And don't say nothing because that's just your backseat drivers afraid to think of change. And your backseat drivers are really Bob something. No, that's Bob Dylan. Duh. Um, your backseat drivers are really just afraid of change. They're afraid, and they're afraid of something different. They're afraid of the unknown because they are afraid that the unknown and change is going to hurt. It's almost, and I remember hearing once in a self-help thing that I read, it's almost like you're killing off this version of yourself. When you change, you're kind of transforming into, instead of, Beth version 1.9, it's Beth version 2.0. Ergo, Beth version 1.9 no longer exists. Kind of like when you're updating an app. This can feel threatening to your backseat driver. I don't even know who Beth 2.0 is going to be like. Will I like her or not? Will she be a jerk? So calm them down and trust that you are in control of your transformation into a decluttering person. And you can do it at a pace that feels good to you. So calming down the fear of change, the fear of pain. When there's fear, there's usually the fear of getting hurt, losing something, the fear of lack, all those things that make it unsurvivable as a human being. Yeah. And as Carla says, like we said this morning, it might make them have to change something about themselves. Yeah, and here's the thing. What you're doing is you're introducing the idea of personal change is possible, but they may hear that and they still may not change. You can't make somebody else change. They may cling to their old ways. Now we can't change other people how much we would like, but we can change how we respond and react to them. We can evolve into a different version of ourselves that, instead of, as I said earlier today, I think, catching the dog turd that they're throwing at you, you can practice noticing it before it gets to you, knowing it's the turd, and then just going like, nope. And then you look at it and you look at them. And then for dramatic effect, you look at the turd and you look at them and you say, I'm not I'm not picking up your turds anymore. You know? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yes, and Stacy, I totally got that. And if I was unclear, I got that your husband was assembling to put together the boxes. So that's great. That's great. But notice how many times somebody throws something at you and you hang on to it. It's clutter. It's the stuff you don't want. How many times somebody's given you something and it's something you don't even want? And I don't even mean it in like somebody gave you a gift. It's like, I don't want this here, have it. And yet you may hold on to it for fear of offending them, even though they didn't want it to begin with. Why is it okay for them to say, no, I don't want it, but not okay for you to say, no, I don't want it? Notice the fear of getting in trouble, the fear of your mother-in-law getting mad at you or being offended or being mean to you or thinking that you're some whatever. So yeah, I don't know if it would wouldn't it be funny if I had a business expense on my credit card from like Jack's Joke Shop and it said like fake dog poop, right? But it's true. I mean, imagine I could actually buy one of those little plush, the emoji that's like the kind of the cute little turd. Whoever thought? But people throw turds at you all the time, even especially on social media and the news. That you are being bombarded by unpleasant things. The longer you keep on that channel and you listen, the more you're getting hit with poop. So it's just something to think about. You can change the station. You can report something you don't like. You can block somebody you don't want. You can say, not interested, show me less of this. You can actively swipe by something you don't want. Don't engage with stuff you don't want. Don't watch scary movies. Don't, I don't know. Do watch things you do like. Can I recommend a movie that I absolutely love that I will watch anytime it's on? It used to be Coming to America with Eddie. I almost said Eddie Money. Oh, that's so funny. That's, Baby Hold On to Me and stuff. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. It's a bit dated now, but isn't everything from the past. But I really, anytime that would be on TV back in the day, I would always sit down and watch it. Yeah, there we go. Baby, hold on to me. But what I will offer in kind of a more shallow end of the pool is the movie Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians. I can't remember the first time I saw it. I know I didn't see it in the movie theater. I feel like I saw it on a flight. I feel like, and maybe it was even the first flight. I could probably paper trail it back to my husband and I being on an international flight and watching that movie. Yeah, and that is a movie that anytime it's on, to me, that is the perfect, like, feel good, you know, I could watch that. I will watch that on many a flight, even though I've seen it before. That Thing You Do, also a movie I like. Um, yeah, and Crazy Rich Asians, and I will share with you. I saw that movie, and there's a scene at the end. I'm not going to get away from it, but it's at this wild, like, hotel that looks like a giant ship held up by buildings. And I saw that and I was like, man, that'd be crazy to go on that roof deck. I got inspired by that movie and I reached out to my aunt who used to live in Singapore. And I said, hey, I was on an international flight and I thought of you and I saw this movie. Are you ever going back to Singapore? Because I would love for you to show Cliff and me Singapore because I just saw this place. And she says, as a matter of fact, we are. So lo and behold, we had the opportunity to go there, and we actually had cocktails on the roof of that hotel that I just saw in a movie. Yeah. Um, there we go. Stacy Babbage says, I love the liquor gift idea you talked about earlier. Yeah. I saw a minimalist post who suggested gifting items that are products to use versus just tchotchkes, right? I'm going to start gifting my favorite items. Yeah. Ooh, that's fun. Stacy says, and this had never occurred to me, someone once gave me a small Pureology dry shampoo with lotions, and I am hooked on this stuff. Yeah, and notice when you like something, you might want to share it with somebody else. You might find out what they like I did with our friends L and T, and the specific, gin they want. Or you may say, you know what? We really enjoyed this gin and we thought of you, you know? Yeah. So the story behind it, I am giving a gift from my heart. Now, if you don't like it, again, don't give a gift with strings attached. Do not be upset if somebody says, oh, thank you, but I don't, like that smell, or I tried it and it didn't work out for me. Don't be one of those kind of gift givers. Give something without strings, with your heart, hope for the best. And if it doesn't work out, at least you tried. Okay. So I just offer that to you. And you know what? I just realized this is crazy. It's 8:54. We've got 6 minutes left. And then tomorrow we've got a busy morning. Got a busy morning. Declutter wise, because I want to cram as much decluttering potential into June before 4th of July, my husband's birthday, hanging around at home, a gig down the beach. We go to Chicago, we come back from Chicago, we go on tour. Then I swear to God, it's September already. So I'm showing up for you to help you with all the time that I have. Yeah. Yeah. Kim says the summer goes so fast once the 4th is done. Now, here's the funny thing. I always will stretch out the summer like you wouldn't believe. Even the picture, I will share this with you. The picture of the calendar in my brain shows June, July, and August taking up much more of the circle that my brain looks at as the calendar than it really should. Those are bigger months in my mind, and I savor and stretch out and really appreciate those days because I guess I'm an eternal child in the fact that I live for summer vacation, you know? Carla Jane is asking if anybody has signed up to party with us in the AM. Not at the moment, Carla, but that's okay. Because you know what I have learned is that sometimes people say, well, I don't know if I'm going to be busy. Do I get up in time? This, that, and the other thing. So there are many times people will look at the schedule in the morning and they will sign up in the morning. And even if they don't, you and I will have a party ourselves, okay? I'll try on some clothes, you'll try on some clothes, we'll discuss some things. We can make it whatever we want to be. Yeah. And it's okay. Stacy's got to work in the morning. Again, and this is something I want to share with you as just a life lesson. You're going to have an idea, and hopefully you're going to try out your ideas. You have some really good ideas in your brain, but not all ideas are going to work out the way you hope. One of my ideas, because I wanted to show up so much for you guys, was I said, I'm going to try this experiment of doing declutter parties on Thursday mornings. And what I've discovered is they don't work out for a lot of people. They work out for a few people, you know? And I say to you, I am learning about that. So you can pretty much know that I even have it. Where did I put it? The decluttering parties that I'm looking at making for June, and I want to double check on these too, are basically going to be on Mondays and Saturdays. Saturdays, because those of you who work in the weekends, and they will be still early, because I want you to have fun. Saturdays, because Monday through Friday, people have Saturdays where they might have more bandwidth. And Monday, because two things. One is I have a client who said, I like these Monday parties. If you do Monday parties, I like to show up. Also, Monday is a wonderful day to kind of get yourself a little bit situated, declutter your brain from the weekend. Okay? Declutter your brain from the weekend. Okay? So, yeah, so I'm looking at a couple of Mondays. I'm looking at a couple of Saturdays. And same thing with August, but August is maybe going to be 3. I've got right now, and I'm not committing to all of them, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There will not be 12. I was just riffing on the Pointer Sisters on Sesame Street. Okay. Yeah. And so there are a bunch of them going on, but I get that sometimes it doesn't work for your schedule. One of the good life skills that you can learn from the 4 agreements is don't take things personally. I don't take it personally, but I would rather try an idea than be afraid it wasn't going to work and not put it out there at all. Just think, Carl and I might be the only ones tomorrow. We'll have fun. We'll get stuff done. It won't be for naught. So I share with you. I hope you had a lovely day today. I hope when we sign off in just about a minute or so that you sign off, and before you go to bed, you do all the things that's going to make you comfortable. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to wipe my face. Maybe I'll even floss, but I feel like I flossed recently. Do I want to floss every day? I don't know. But I have flossed more this month, than a lot. We shall see. But when you go to bed tonight, what I want you to do is practice moving into different movie theaters. If there's a scary movie on, if the movie in your head is one you don't like, Stop, tell the projectionist, stop rolling the film, and start to roll the picture of your destination decluttered. Spend some time imagining the color of the walls. What do the floors look like? How does it smell? How does it feel? What's the temperature? Does the light shine in, or is it like a nice little cozy cave? Okay. Now, Christine says, would anybody be interested? And Christine, because she's on the West Coast, would anyone be interested in a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern or later party? Now, here's a fun thing, Christine. You know who's interested in that? You, which is so good. Shoot me an email and remind me of that, because as soon as I shut off, I've been on my computer all day. I may forget that, but shoot me an email. Let me know about that, and I will look at the schedule. And if it isn't outside the realm of possibility, we might do a couple. Okay. So notice what has happened here today, at least with me being me, but also playing fairy godmother, the universe. The people who get what they want are the people who know what they want and have let somebody know about it. The people who wanted a sticker, does anybody want a sticker? Email me your email, your mailing address. I will send one to you until they run out. Christine said, this is something I want. And she was brave enough to share that. And I love it. Kim just sent it. And what I will say is, the people who don't ask for things don't get their things. So figure out something you want and ask for it. And you know me. If I can make it happen, I will do it. As I remember saying once, and I'll sign off momentarily, I remember once saying to a team of mine when I was in corporate, I said, here's the deal with me. I like to say yes as much as I can, but occasionally I will need to say no. But if I like to say yes as much as I can, okay? Judy Duke says she'd like a sticker. Then you let me know your mailing address, okay? Beth at destinationdecluttered.com. I love it. Therapy Gal Sue assembled her chair, and we'll hop on lives this week plus Saturday's party. Kim's sending me an email. Judy's sending me an email. Christine's going to send me an email. And here's the thing. I love this. It's worth a try. Carla says, I may be about to go back to work, so I'm doing all I can now, squeezing all the goods out of everything we can. But if it works out, it works out. Okay. Always a pleasure. Hope this helped. And I will see as many of you that works out tomorrow. Have a good evening.